Und weiter geht's. Schauen wir mal, was Elizabeth uns so zu erzählen hat.
Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this. All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Thank you. Come on, follow me.
Und da muss ich jetzt gleich nochmal wieder gucken. Elizabeth war, dass ich irgendwann mal einen Flüchtigkeitsfehler mache und eine dumme Antwort nehme. Da oben Adams. Questioning. Vulnerability kennen wir. Okay.
I really need to talk to you, Louis.
Geht nur langsam
Right
den
now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
Elizabeth, I don't know if it's about my mother again, but I'm telling you, you've nothing to be afraid of. She didn't come here for you.
I
kannst du gar nicht
saw
wissen.
her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night? While she was hiding?
Yes, Louis. I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right?
Ja gut, so viele Leute
In the
rennen ja
middle
auch
of
nicht
the
rum, ne?
night. And the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you it was her.
Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away.
Verdammt.
I didn't make any noise and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her.
Das Falsche
She's
gewählt.
here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. Yes, I need something to calm me down.
Ich denke nicht.
No thanks, I'd better not.
Listen, if
Kleinen
you
Kopf
want me to
bewahren.
tell you everything, you have to drink with me, Louis. What I have to say to you is of the utmost importance.
Ah,
I'll drink with you, but let's go easy on it, okay? I don't know where she gets her rot gut from, but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Whoa. The alcohol's
ja,
gone to my head.
was reingerührt. Das war nämlich auch so ein bisschen die Gefahr dabei. Oder er ist sehr, sehr empfänglich für Alkohol.
Here, the condemned's last drink.
Ja, es bringt halt nichts, jetzt weiter zu saufen. Ne? Er ist ja sowieso schon angeschlagen und
Elizabeth, alcohol never solves anything. I'm gonna stop now.
Listen up. You want to know what your mother was capable of, right? You want to know the reason why. Well, you're gonna have to follow me to the bottom of the abyss, Louis. Either drink or get out.
ich meine, wir haben nicht wirklich eine Spur sonst, ne? Weiß auch nicht, ob Emily jetzt groß was weiß.
Man, I need to take it easy with the booze. At this rate, I won't last the night. Let's go easy on the drinking, okay? Alcohol won't solve our problems. Ugh, the second one isn't any easier.
So, do you want to know why she did all those things to me or not? Even if it changes the image you have of her forever?
What was she trying to cure you of then?
Of the one illness she never managed to treat me for.
Keine Ahnung, ja. Dafür, dass sie so dringend mit uns reden wollte, finde ich es jetzt ein bisschen komisch.
Come on, Elizabeth. We have to finish what we started. feel all dizzy. There must have been a reason. Just tell me. Tell me what my mother treated you for.
She wanted to silence them.
What? What are you talking about? Silence what?
The voices. The voices in my head. They speak to me, Louis. They've always told me what to do. They say nasty things to me.
Kann ich nochmal wieder gucken. Questioning war das, okay. Das ist beides irgendwie Schwachsinn.
Elizabeth, are you saying that spirits talk to you?
Er hat's gut
You're
formuliert.
right. Sometimes there are several voices. How did you know?
No, listen, I don't know anything. I'm just repeating what you said.
Ja, gut, er hat Visionen. Das
They
ist
want
jetzt
me.
dann so schwer zu glauben.
Want me just for themselves. They talk to me all the time. Yet your mother did everything to make them go away. Ever since I was little. And look at the result.
It's impossible, Mother. You spent your life trying to prove that the supernatural doesn't exist. Why punish this poor girl? Oh, shit. What has she done to you?
Uh-oh, Louis. Are you starting to believe me?
No, but
Too bad it's all been for nothing. They're still there, you know.
What do you mean? They're still talking to you?
All the time. Despite everything Sarah put me through, I still hear them. And here I am on a lost island, knowing that no one knows me. And I find myself here at the exact same time as her. You see? You understand? You sense it too. I'm going to die here.
Ja, vielleicht noch nicht heute.
I
Oder
beg you,
nähere
tell me
Zukunft.
you believe me.
Naja, ich glaube schon, dass sie es glaubt. Ob das jetzt dann bedeutet, dass es die Wahrheit ist oder nicht, ist wieder eine andere Frage, aber dass mit seiner Mutter irgendwas komisch ist, auch mit den Aufzeichnungen und so, die jetzt uns Washington schon gezeigt hat, würde ich mal schon sagen, dass man ihr glauben sollte.
I'm here, Elizabeth. I'm right here with you. And I do believe you.
Thank you, Louis. You know, despite what people might think, I'm not crazy.
Die Frage ist, was wollen die Spirits von ihr? Oder was sagen sie ihr? Das wäre auch mal so eine interessante Frage.
My God, Elizabeth, how is this possible?
Welcome to my world, little Louis. Welcome to my life.
Oh! Ja. Ich meine, wenn sie abhaut von der Insel, ich meine, wo soll sie schon hin? Sie existiert ja quasi nicht. Das heißt, es ist ja nicht so, dass sie als Person irgendwo groß jetzt was machen könnte, ne? Also. Und dann auf der anderen Seite ist, ob jetzt wirklich ihr Leben hier in Gefahr ist, ist halt noch die große Frage, ne? Weil. Okay, seine Mutter hat irgendwas mit ihr angestellt und das mag auch alles irgendwie nicht so koscher gewesen sein. Ob sie es jetzt umbringen will. Weiß ich halt auch nicht, ne? Über den Mordthema wissen wir nichts. Keine Ahnung, was seine Motivation ist. Ja, aber das ist halt schon so ein bisschen die Frage. Also, Escape from the Island. Also erstmal ist die Frage, wie sie das machen soll, weil so easy scheint das ja auch nicht zu sein. So viele Schiffe, Boote gibt es da auch nicht. Außerdem müsste sie dann irgendwie in die Dunkelheit raus, wo angeblich die Mutter irgendwie rumschleicht. Und dann, wie gesagt, auf der anderen Seite ist, wo soll sie halt hin, ne? Weil das ist jetzt wieder die Frage, wenn man jetzt ein bisschen mehr Infos hätte, was genau die Spirits ihr erzählen oder so, dann könnte man eher einschätzen, ob das so irgendwie psychotisch ist oder nicht, oder ob die Mutter ein Interesse daran haben könnte, sie auszuschalten. Das Problem ist halt auch, man weiß über die Mutter halt nichts, ne? Ich meine, er hat ja jetzt so eine Andeutung gemacht, dass die Mutter irgendwie beweisen will, dass halt nichts Übernatürliches und so weiter existiert. Und das könnte natürlich erklären, warum die Mutter so erpicht darauf ist, irgendwie sie hier in Anführungszeichen zu behandeln. Weil sie sonst eventuell ein Beweis dafür wäre, dass es eben doch was gibt, ja, wenn sie irgendwie da mit den Geistern wirklich irgendwie kommunizieren könnte. Aber ob ich ihr jetzt raten sollte, abzuhauen oder hier zu bleiben... Also ich sehe immer noch nicht, warum sie jetzt akut in Lebensgefahr sein sollte. Sie sagt, sie glaubt das, okay. Die Mutter kann sein, dass sie halt nicht koscher ist, aber warum sie gerade jetzt umgebracht werden sollte, weiß ich halt auch nicht so richtig. Also die Gefahr ist vielleicht auch noch ein bisschen mit Zweifel zu sehen. Andererseits, wie gesagt, wenn sie von der Insel abhaut, ich meine, was soll sie dann machen, ne? Selbst wenn sie es schafft. Weiß ich nicht so richtig.
Let's not rush into things. You have nothing to fear here. I'm with you. And anyway, my mother's gone missing. You're not in any danger.
That's not what the voices say.
Listen to me. Don't give up. You must resist. And tomorrow, you'll see. Things will be better.
You like my little concoction, don't you? That's rare.
What?
Dass er nicht mal fragt,
It
was
no
die
longer
Geister
has
ihr
any
sagen.
effect
Ja.
on me. But my guests generally don't appreciate me mixing alcohol with laudanum.
What? You put laudanum in my drink?
In both. Don't worry, my little Louie. We'll sink down to the bottom together.
Oh man, I feel like puking. I really feel like shit. I gotta get back.
Don't worry, Louie. I'm here now. I'll take good care of you.
What is this bitch gonna do to me? Don't touch me! Just leave. If I get up, I'll fall.
Vielleicht hat es auch einfach nur Drogenwahnsinn,
Little Louie's tired.
schwer zu sagen.
Leave everything to me. Just let go.
Mademoiselle, may I come in?
Ja, ganz toll. Wäre vielleicht besser gewesen, einfach mit
My head.
Emily wegzugehen.
I shouldn't have drunk so much.
Das war nicht viel, das war das, was reingerührt ist.
Oh shit.
Elizabeth!
Failed at a few drinks with Elizabeth, okay. Hier das Enigma gelöst. Accepted to keep Elizabeth company. Persuaded Emily to tell me your secret. I could have joined Emily, ja. Vielleicht wäre es dann besser gewesen, aber ja, das einzige Alarmzeichen war halt, erst kommt sie an und will, ja, hier unbedingt, bla, ich muss dir was erzählen, hast du nicht gesehen. Und dann geht's rein und sagt, ich erzähle dir nichts, wenn du nicht säufst und so, ne? Das war schon so ein Ding, wo man sagen könnte, okay, da hätte man es noch irgendwie abbrechen können, ja, weil wenn sie was sagen will, dann soll es halt sagen, ja. Man kann niemandem helfen, dem nicht geholfen werden, also der nicht will, dass man ihm hilft. Ist halt die Frage, ob es viel geändert hätte, ne? Wenn ich jetzt mit Emily mitgegangen wäre, wäre vielleicht Elizabeth auch gestorben. Und man hätte sie halt einfach nur alleine im Zimmer gefunden. Und wenn ich ihr gesagt hätte, sie soll abhauen, dann wäre ich halt wahrscheinlich wäre jetzt genau dasselbe passiert. Naja, man weiß es nicht. Schauen wir mal. So, was haben wir jetzt hier noch? Da unten kann ich mir wieder Tränke holen mit den Dingern. Ist halt auch die Frage, ob das dann nur einmal geht. Wahrscheinlich. Die Kette Level 1. Ich habe auch nur 4 Punkte. 3 Punkte für Level 2 und dann hätte ich noch einen übrig. Gegen Logik ist jetzt noch keiner irgendwie immun. Keiner empfänglich. Ja, ich werde das mal hochnehmen. Einzelnen Punkt. Ich habe es auch nichts, wo einer fehlt. Nehmen wir das mal. Einfach das, was irgendwann mal vollgeschaltet kriegen. Vielleicht war das auch gar nicht so gut, den einen Punkt in Psychologie zu stecken, den einzelnen, der da übrig war. Ja, das war jetzt Episode 1. Also es gibt mehrere Episoden, ich glaube 5 waren es. Und an der Stelle haben wir das Ende von Episode 1. Aber da die anderen Episoden ja jetzt da sind, können wir es eigentlich direkt fortsetzen. Also machen wir hier weiter. Episode 2.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet. Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Logik. Logik kann ich mir halt auch billig kaufen, deswegen macht es irgendwie wahrscheinlich keinen Sinn, die Bücher zu lesen. Erudition hatte ich ja einen dazu gepackt und da fehlt mir noch einer, damit es voll ist. Oh, ich kann sogar 2 Manuskripte lesen. Sehr schön. Ja, dann nehmen wir die beiden.
Is there nothing you want to say, Louis?
It wasn't me. I didn't kill her.
I'd much rather have met you under different circumstances.
Lord Mortimer, believe me, I'm very conscious of the gravity of the situation. Everything seems to point to me as the one who killed Elizabeth, but I swear I am innocent.
Out of respect for your mother, rest assured that I do want to believe you.
And all I want is to be able to prove it to you. When do we start?
We already have. Tell me, Louis, how do you feel?
Okay, wofür ist er? Ah, fuck. Das wollte ich gar nicht. Den wollte ich. Weder noch. sehe gar keine
I
Schwächen.
feel like a rat trapped in a maze.
Interesting.
I beg your pardon?
Sarah also felt like she was trapped, like an animal.
Where are you going with this, my lord?
Sarah's behavior grew odd before her disappearance. Her attitude changed. She became prey to outbursts of violence and a number of temporary absences. I'm just trying to make sure that you don't go getting lost like your mother did.
You're not suggesting that I might have killed Elizabeth and that I don't remember, are you?
I don't know, Louis. It's just that what with your mother and now you, it's rather a lot. The more I take stock of the situation, the more I'm under the impression that you've been set up. But before going any further, I must inform you that Sir Gregory is about to arrive. He is coming to question you about the murder of poor Elizabeth, whom he was very fond of. He is quite determined to find the culprit, whomever they may be. So, convince him of your innocence. Then we can continue this conversation.
William, I would like to see you a moment before we begin. In private.
Let's step outside a moment. Louis, this will only take a few moments.
Die Diener gehen weg, damit ich die Dokumente lesen kann.
All right, let's take this chance to look around.
Enclosed are the witness statements of guests Bonaparte and Hillsborough. Statement of Bonaparte when asked, "What were you doing yesterday evening?" Monsignor Bonaparte replied, "After talking with Lord Mortimer, I spent the evening playing cards with Sir Gregory, Mr. Washington, and His Eminence Piaggi. Sir Gregory won. Did you notice any strange throughout the evening, Monsieur Bonaparte? At daybreak, I thought I saw someone on the balcony, but couldn't see who it was." Hillsborough. "What were they doing yesterday evening? I spent the evening in Monsieur de Richelieu's company. We admired the works exhibited in the Manor Gallery. By going up to bed, we ran into Miss Adams. I was tired. I left Monseigneur de Richet and Miss Adams in conversation and went to bed. Did you notice any strange throughout the evening? Not that I remember." Oh.
Please, sit back down, Louis.
This sort of behavior is not working in your favor, young man.
Ja, du mich auch. Holm, haben wir da irgendwas? Nee, haben wir nicht. Mortimer? Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of Westfordshire and peer of Great Britain, is an extremely rich English aristocrat. It is discreet as he is influential. An investor of talent, Mortimer's success in business was masterful. He finished by withdrawing from the public arena and isolating himself more and more, often on his private island. A major patron of the arts, he finances a large number of artists in diverse fields and takes great pleasure in bringing together unexpected personalities. He does the same with the greats of this world, men of influence and men of state of the time. Regularly organizes social gatherings on his private island. Okay, Home haben wir auch noch keine Schwächen. Und der Spinner, Peru. Etikette. Und Etikette ist die Krone. Okay.
Monsieur de Richet, you were found standing over Miss Adams' body. We must shed some light on your responsibility in this tragedy. We shall then decide on your fate. But you must know that if you do not convince us of your innocence, it will cost you dearly. Now you are going to tell us everything that happened last night, without leaving any detail out. First things first, how did your evening begin?
I was with Emily when Elizabeth turned up.
Duchess Hillsborough and I were returning to our rooms when Elizabeth came upon us.
Oh, so you were with the Duchess?
Yes, we were talking. We were walking up the stairs, and it was late.
Where did you come from?
I don't remember.
Tell him the truth heißt aber nicht der Geheimraum, oder?
We came from the small salon, I believe, and
And then?
we were heading for our rooms when Elizabeth burst into the corridor, barely dressed. She was panic-stricken and insisted on speaking to me. So I found myself in Elizabeth's room. We sat down together. She insisted we have a drink, or she would refuse to confide in me.
What exactly did she want to speak about at such a late hour?
Wir wissen noch nicht, wofür die anfällig sind, ne? Vielleicht funktioniert es ja mit Psychologie. Und das ist eigentlich auch der Punkt. Ich meine, die wollte ja über die Dings mit der Mutter reden.
She was distressed. She just found out that I was Sarah Deriche's son and sort of insisted on telling me about the horrors my mother made her suffer. She was convinced she was going to die.
It turns out she wasn't wrong. And what happened next?
Then she told me she had poured laudanum in my glass. The next minute I was on the floor. When I woke up, she was lying in a pool of blood.
That is all you have to say? You expect us to believe that you have no idea what happened to her?
Yes, because I'm telling you the truth.
How can you possibly expect us to believe you?
Gregory, we must consider every possibility. Louis, do you have any idea who could have done it?
Washington glaube ich nicht. Peru, warum? Seine Mutter kann es theoretisch sein, ja.
Well, even if I can't believe for a single instant that my mother could have murdered someone in that manner, she might have wanted to stop Elizabeth from speaking about their mutual past. And things might have turned nasty.
It is indeed a possibility.
I would like to thank you for helping us shed light on what happened last night. To be honest, you are not the only suspect. I'm prepared to believe you were drugged. Our poor Elizabeth hid the stuff everywhere, and I could smell laudanum on you 3 yards away.
So you knew it wasn't me from the start?
We weren't sure. Louis, I am sorry, but everything points in the same direction. I only know one person on this island who might have had a big enough grudge against Elizabeth, who has no alibi, and whose behavior is, well, suspect. Not to mention dangerous.
Tell me what happened before my arrival. I think I've been patient enough.
You don't need us for any of this. So come along, Monsieur Peru. We are leaving.
Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
She's in hiding. She isn't missing. Ja, er versteckt sich auf jeden Fall.
She seems to be making every effort to steer clear of your guests.
What do you mean?
For the past few weeks, my mother's been playing cat and mouse, if you will. I don't know why, but it wouldn't surprise me to learn that she's trying to avoid someone. The question is, who?
And in your opinion, would she be the cat or the mouse?
Keine Ahnung, aber nach dem, was man so von ihr weiß, glaube glaube ich jetzt nicht unbedingt, dass er einen größeren Gegner hat, aber wer weiß.
Knowing my mother, she would be the cat.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes. How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me.
Did my mother sell arms? Why help a lieutenant? Und dass er Waffen verkauft, überrascht mich jetzt nicht, aber warum im Lieutenant?
Isn't Bonaparte a bit young to deserve so much attention?
Well, you come straight to the point. I like that. Indeed, if you knew just how much you remind me of him. Trust me, I'll wager that Monsieur Napoleon will soon prove himself. I'm working on it, at least. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over. Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
She was looking for a buyer? Was? Wenn das eine Option ist, sollte man vielleicht ehrlich mit ihm sein.
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
Oh, verdammt, Dealer? War da mit Borchardt? Der Name sagt mir doch was von Borchardt. Woher kenne ich denn den? Ist das der?
The dealer was called von Burchard. As for the buyer, he was unknown to us.
Ist nicht mehr 100% sicher,
I don't know
aber
anything about that.
der Name kommt mir
There's
irgendwie bekannt
something
vor.
I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
She might have discovered something. Lost her mind, glaube ich, jetzt eher weniger. She's wary of someone. Wenn sie was entdeckt hätte, warum sollte sie sich dann verstecken? Ich glaube, ja.
Her not coming back to the manor after so long makes me wonder if she is wary of someone.
Well, certainly. But whom? The only ones who were present during her stay were Sir Gregory, Duchess Hillsborough, Mr. von Wollner, and myself.
Adams war hier. Warum sollte er überrascht sein von Duchess Hillsborough?
You forget Elizabeth Adams, my lord.
That's true. But Gregory and I arranged it so that they wouldn't run into each other. I thought it had worked. Do you think that your mother felt she was in danger because of Elizabeth?
It's possible.
The only thing I
Möglich ist
can
es.
tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Warte mal, das metrische System hat doch Napoleon eingeführt, oder? Das heißt, der müsste ja dann schon in der Macht gewesen sein. Naja.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor. Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that? Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly.
Dann ist die
You said
Schwester
that
schon
you
tot,
spent
okay?
a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely and simply disappeared.
Where did she go when she wanted to be alone?
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Naturally, Louis, of course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
One last thing, although I don't know if there is a connection.
I'm listening.
A gate was forced the other night near the wharf. Nothing serious, just a few small things damaged.
Oh! Ja, das war ich.
Sorry, my lord, but I was searching for leads to my mother. I thought I was hot on her trail and didn't take any precautions.
Well, you could have reported it to a servant. But never mind. I shall put it down to your ardor and anxiety. However, please try to respect my estate in future.
I certainly will. Please accept my sincerest apologies.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would liked to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on our trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you. The room is just opposite Mortimer's study.
Nun gut, Tower Room. Wo auch immer der ist. Ich gehe davon aus, dass ich nicht wieder hoch darf. Ja. Ist er direkt, okay. Das hat er gemeint mit, ist direkt opposite.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Trust in my faith in the man with the sword.
There are burnt papers in the chimney. There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So Mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Ah, liegt doch was.
Carmelite water will give me a little reprieve. St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Oh, echt?
A fierce opponent of the first Christians, St. Paul is suddenly struck by the call of Jesus Christ and converts. It's the best known conversion in Christian history, which teaches us that even enemies of Christ can be saved, and even become his greatest apostles after finding faith. From what I can recall, the account of his conversion can be found in the epistles to the Galatians, the Philippians, the Corinthians, and the Acts of the Apostles. Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Okay, da kann ich nicht raus.
What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Erstmal das Buch. Ein runder Magnet. Sowas. Okay, auf dem Tisch. Nicht, dass wieder irgendwann im Regal noch ein Fässlein steht mit Honig. Dem ist leider nicht so.
The door appears to be locked on the other side. I think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor.
The disc.
We'll see if it works.
Schon Magneten hat. Komischerweise ist der Schlüssel rausgefallen. Eine kleine Bibliothek. Bevor ich irgendwelche Kisten aufmache, gucke ich erstmal, ob irgendein Kram rumliegt. So Fässchen wie das da zum Beispiel.
St. Paul painted by Guido Rini. St. Paul is shown holding a sword. Strange. There's hardly any dust, as if the painting's been cleaned recently. There's a small inscription engraved on the frame. Let's take a closer look. This is how Paul spoke to his pilgrims from Rome. Just above that, someone's written down the figure 11 on the painting and underlined it twice. No, what does that mean?
Okay, das ist, glaube ich, genau der Mann mit dem Schwert. Also machen wir doch erstmal hier die Kiste auf.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Die dit kriege ich nicht auf. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob es mir reichen würde, wenn ich
The
die
New Testament.
Gratis-Skill-Sache da benutzen würde.
This book is incredibly precious. I believe this is the book my mother referred to when calling upon the Lord. This volume dates from the first edition of Gutenberg. It's the first book that was ever printed. The pages are covered in annotations in Latin, French, and Hebrew. Someone spent years studying this Bible. A volume of the Gutenberg Bible.
Oh, warte mal, 11, ne?
I guess I'll just come back later.
Da müssen wir mal gucken beim Bild, was genau da...
St. John is known as the youngest of Christ's apostles. Well, we often give credit to St. John for having written about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible. It's St. John, painted by Guido Rini. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Rini. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Rini. Amber crystals. St. Paul painted by Guido Reni.
St. Paul, wenn da schon eine Bibel liegt. Ist die 11 vielleicht eine römische 2? Okay, also.
St. Paul painted by Guido Reni. So we have the figure 11 twice underlined, and a story of a group of pilgrims who it looks like Paul is speaking to. Maybe it's a code. There must be a connection. A text on Paul must be somewhere, and it must be associated with the figure 11. But what's the story with these pilgrims? I mean, a connection with the figure, maybe?
St. Paul. Pilger. Thessalonia, wann ist Pilger? Keine Ahnung. Chapter 1, Verse 1.
Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. Grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Chapter 11, Verse 11.
I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy. Oh, wait, a note from Mother is carefully folded between the pages here. What does it say? Dear E, I'm glad you found this note. I was afraid the code of the two groups of pilgrims would mislead you. Pick up the package. You know where, and hide it where no one will find it. It's imperative, awaiting your reply, hidden behind the youngest apostle. What? The youngest apostle? What does Mother mean by that?
Hühnchen. Ja, Dir E, dann ist E Emma.
That's right, St. John is often credited with writing about the apocalypse in the last book of the Bible. He's also known as the youngest of Christ's apostles.
Genau.
Hey, wait! That means it's him. He's the youngest apostle. Right. This painting is therefore associated with the answer which E had to give to my mother. Now, I just need to know how to recover the answer. St. John is the only apostle painted in this gallery who hasn't got a beard. It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni. The painting looks like it's been taken down recently. What was it my mother said? That she would wait for an answer hidden behind the apostle. Ah, of course! There's something written behind the painting. On the second day, the pilgrims will listen to the prophecy of the young apostle, they shall add 1 companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their rank. What does it mean? Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently. There are fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust. A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Kann ich mir das jetzt mit Freibier erkaufen? Tatsächlich. Fragment, sehr schön. Dafür hat es sich gelohnt. Das Kerzen?
They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
Oh, wenn ich jetzt in der ganzen christlichen Mythologie mehr drauf wäre, ne, aber... One to the left and 3 to the right.
I guess I'll just come back later.
Speaking to the pilgrims.
They should add a companion to their left and 3 to their right to complete their ranks. I imagine it applies to their code, the one Mother set up with the pilgrims. What's this? A group of pilgrims who Paul was talking to, and now John is telling them prophecies?
One to the left, 3 to the right ist 12-14. Und das wäre Revelation to John.
And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Hey, a new note. It's been folded carefully in the corner of this page. The writing, it's not my mother's. S. I found the book in your effects. I've concealed it where no one can get their hands on it. I can assure you, awaiting your instructions, I will hear your reply like he who hears the angel. Hears the angel? What does that mean? Oh, it's probably the place where she was expecting to get the location of the next note.
He who hears the angels. Da war doch auch was mit irgendeinem Bild. Ja, aber da geht's beim nächsten Mal an der Stelle weiter. Weil das wird jetzt wohl noch einen Moment dauern. Genau. Ja, also bis dahin. Ciao.